Live, going live. We are live. What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod. I'm a full-time eBay and Poshmark seller, and today we are doing a live show where I'm answering some of you guys' questions. And I usually pull some of these questions from previous videos, and they're usually from the comment section, of course. And I usually get to these questions. I always answer any questions or comments you guys have. So continue dropping those questions and comments down on below my videos. But on Sundays, I like to just go a little more in depth and just answer some more questions for you guys. And if you guys have any questions, of course, throw it in the live stream, and I'll try to get to that towards just throughout the show. I don't like to save the questions at the end. I like to answer those questions as soon as they come. So like I said, just drop the questions, and I'll answer them as soon as possible. And if this is your guys' first time tuning into one of my live shows, I do this every Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so that's 4 o'clock on the East Coast. And yeah, so the live shows will be every Sunday, so just tune in. And I just like to, make a community type of situation with this. Whether you guys have questions or just comments, I just like to interact with you guys without having to, get all the editing videos and stuff like that. Just really make it more personal. So I'll start things off with the first question that I have. And April Collins asks, do you use a virtual assistant to help share your closet? And she's talking about my Poshmark Closet. For those of you that don't know, most people that have Poshmark closets, if it's a really, really big closet, sometimes they hire virtual assistants, or they might buy a bot, and that will basically share their entire closet within a matter of minutes. And it does it several times a day. So it's kind of like a cheat code because it will help get your products in front of people on a consistent basis. Now, for me, I'm in the process of like revving up my Poshmark Closet. So I usually maintain about 100 to 150 items in my Poshmark Closet. And that's really because I have a pretty strong sell-through rate. Once I get things on Poshmark, it usually sells pretty fast within a week. So when I say maintain 100 to 150, when something sells, I try to put, if one thing sells, I try to put like 2 or 3 things to kind of build up my closet. So right now I'm in the process of trying to not double that, but I want to maintain somewhere between 200 and 250. So I'm just trying to get a lot more inventory and things like that. So in terms of sharing my closet, I still do it myself. It takes me about 10 minutes, maybe 15, depending on how much things I have. And I share my closet several times a day. So when I first start my day around 8 o'clock, sometimes 9:30, I'll probably share my closet. And if it's a particular party going on, I'll share the items that pertain to that party, and then I'll share my entire closet to just my followers. And then I'll share it later on around 3 or 4 o'clock. And then in the evening party, I always share my closet. I hardly ever miss that evening party because I like to share my entire closet to that party. So in terms of using bots, that's not really my thing. I've heard that people lost their Poshmark closets and you can kind of get in trouble. Not sure how true that is because so many people are using bots. So that's really just up to you guys if you want to use it or not. I know I don't, and I don't really trust it. So how's your February Posh sales going? Mine sucks. My February Posh sales have been booming. This has been a really, really strong month. Keep in mind, this is also the month that I became a Posh ambassador. So I'm not going to say that that has anything to do with it, but I've been, like I said, I've been trying to rev up my Poshmark closet very, very consistently. This is probably the most items I've had in my Poshmark closet ever. And that means that's the most sales I've had because every time I get a sale, like I said, I just add 2 to 3 more items. So earlier this month, I had dropped a what sold on Poshmark video. So if you guys didn't see that, you could catch that one. And I'm talking more about brands that's selling for me right now. So that might be helpful for you since your Poshmark sales are kind of slow. But I was usually only doing one of those videos. Like I would do one at the end of the month and I'll just share some of the sales. But since I'm getting so much sales, I'm doing one in the middle of the month and one at the end of the month, just like I do with eBay. So that just kind of lets you know that Poshmark sales are really coming in and it's fairly consistent. So Posh is doing good for me. Ham Slack, do you cross post on eBay and Poshmark? Absolutely. Now, like I said, I'm changing my Poshmark system a little bit. So when I'm going thrifting and sourcing in general, it's certain items that I'm specifically putting on Poshmark and I'm not putting on eBay and vice versa. So if I see a certain shirt, like a certain brand that I know sells for about 20 bucks, like 15 to 20, I'm putting that on my Poshmark Closet, because most Poshmark buyers, they're trying to get a deal. They're not trying to spend too much, and they're usually just trying to spend whatever money they have in their Poshmark account. So since I'm aware of that, I'm just trying to like cater to my audience, and I know that $15 to $20 margin is like a sweet spot. So a lot of the items I'm putting on Poshmark is kind of lower end, but it's selling really fast. So I'm still making sometimes between $10 and $12 per item. So that's really good for me, at least. But some in terms of eBay, in the past, I was putting everything on eBay. That everything that was on eBay was going on Poshmark. But now I'm not doing that anymore, because I kind of just want to see how far I can build my Poshmark Closet. Like, I really want to see if I feel like I've mastered eBay. So at this point, I want to see if I can really master Poshmark to the point where I'm like killing it, to the point where I'm making like $2,000 to $3,000 a month. And for me, that would be killing it. Right now, I'm doing about 1,000. So you got some more pre-prepared questions. You guys keep dropping those questions in the live stream. I'm gonna get to that ASAP. But like I said, I got questions that other people asked. Alexi asked, "Are you getting more sales on Poshmark or on eBay?" Right now, I'm still getting more sales on eBay. eBay is where most of my sales come from. That's because the stuff I find is not to say that they're unique, but the brands that I find are not like super trendy brands. They're brands that people like, they have like a cult following for it. So a lot of the brands that I find, and a good example is say something like Filson. If I have a Filson piece, I might put it on Poshmark, but chances are it's going to sell a lot faster on eBay because people are actually searching for that. So I rather put a lot of those stuff on eBay, and that's where a lot of my sales are coming from. Do you do clothing lots? No, I don't really do clothing lots. Clothing lots usually are best for those of you that shop at like a Goodwill bin, or your thrift store areas just aren't really that strong. So, you kind of have to bundle and make the most of what you got. So if you find something like a simple Tommy Bahama shirt, and you can find like 5 or 6 of those in the same size, I would say lot 2 or 3 of those together, and that would help boost some of your sales. For me, I pass on a lot of those brands that are kind of oversaturated. So I don't necessarily do bundles or lots or anything like that, but it does work. It's definitely effective. I just don't really do it because I try to stay away from those lower end brands. Would you say February is typically slow month for clothing on eBay? No, last year around this time, February was my best month. I remember I did like, I think it was close to 8,000 in sales I did on February last year. So right now, you got to remember, this is tax season. A lot of people are getting their refund checks. A lot of people from school are getting refund checks. So they're just trying to blow that shit. They don't care. So from like December, in terms of like the beginning of the month, beginning of the year, January, February, March, and April, things are really going to be strong because, like I said, a lot of people are getting tax money. They're just frivolous with their money. They're spending gift cards they had from Christmas. So the opportunities are there. But once it gets to the summertime, where it's like May to about August, end of August, a lot of people say they experience like a summer slowdown. And I experienced that shit for sure. Like, it was really, really tough, and I had to figure out what to do. But this year, I'm focusing more on hard goods. So that's like electronics and, anything outside of clothing. I'm really trying to focus on that because those sales don't usually slow down in the summertime. And in terms of clothing, I put 110% of my efforts into athletic wear because that's what people are shopping for in the summer. Summertime, everybody's trying to stay in shape. Everybody's trying to go to the beach and go on vacations. So sneakers, Nike, Adidas, Lululemon, all those type of brands, very, very hot in the summer. So if you could just build a closet just on that for the summertime, you'd be good to go. How do I get sales on eBay if I'm brand new to the platform, no reviews? First thing you should do is buy some household stuff. So things that you would usually buy from like a Walmart, buy it on eBay, because those people would leave you a review immediately. As soon as you buy from them, you don't even need to receive it in the mail yet. A lot of people have automatic feedback on their in their eBay store. So they're going to leave you feedback even if you was to buy a toothbrush for 20 cents. They're going to say, great customer, hope you shop here again. So you can try doing that. That'll give you some feedback. And then from there, you might have to take a few L's in terms of your pricing. You might have to, like take some L's in terms of your pricing. And when I say that, you might have to price your items lower than the competition just to get that traffic, just to get people to buy from you. And then once you get that traction, you have some momentum going, then you can try to branch out and start pricing your items, along with the competitors. But in the beginning, you gotta like undercut people as much as possible just to get some sales. Have you tried selling on Depop? No, I did not try selling on Depop. Right now, I'm only doing eBay, Poshmark, and I'm still like putting together stuff for Amazon. Depop, I heard, is really dope for vintage pieces. So I don't sell a lot of vintage. Like I get it sometimes, but like I'm not in a big vintage area. Like the fashion in my area is very outdoorsy. So a lot of people aren't necessarily buying like dope streetwear vintage stuff. So I don't find it. But Depop is good for that. And I'm pretty sure you still can make money. So if you got vintage stuff, put it on there. Do you think a step-by-step for eBay? Do you have a step-by-step for eBay? I tried it once and got scammed. It scared me away. Okay, tell me who you tried it with first. Like, let me know if it was like a YouTube reseller that had something that was doing like some type of guide, because I'm in the process of putting together an ebook just with men's clothing. And I've done videos in the past about men's clothing. So that was kind of like my introduction to let you guys know that I really know what I'm talking about. But I'm putting together an ebook right now, and it's focused solely on men's clothing. I'm talking about shirts, blazers, pants, suits, everything. Basically everything that I know, I'm putting it in these ebooks. So of course it's not going to be free, but I'm putting these ebooks out, and I'm also going to start doing some coaching on the side as well to kind of help people with the whole eBay process. Because since Poshmark came along, there's a ton of new resellers around that want to get involved, but they're only selling on Poshmark because it's so easy. But there's a ton of people that they can do a lot more. They could do a lot more in sales if they was to put some of their items on eBay. And that's where I think I could really help people, because I started at eBay first, and then I moved on to Poshmark. And I realized Poshmark is like, it's a piece of cake. You could literally list something in 5 seconds. Well, not 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And then you're good to go. You don't even need to take measurements for Poshmark. So I'm definitely going to start doing some coaching. If you guys are interested in that, shoot me an email. My email is in the description below, so I could give you guys kind of like a beginner's deal. Like I'll just start working with you guys from now. But let me know if you guys are interested in that, because I know there's a lot of resellers doing it. And since you said there's people scamming, I'm like, shit, I know I'm not scamming. So there's a market. Like people are interested in it. And if I can give real help and add real value, I'm down for that. Because this scamming shit out of control. Like it's people scamming me on Poshmark. I've got scammed on eBay trying to sell. And I feel like I'm probably the most honest seller there is. And when it comes to this stuff, I'm like, I know I'm not doing that to people. So if I can add value somewhere, let me know. Send me an email, DapperAdvisor@gmail.com. DapperAdvisor@gmail.com. Let me see what else we got. So Sharonica says, I made a mistake and sold something for $3 before I realized, and only made 5 cents off of it. I had to learn the hard way. I didn't want to put a thank you card or even some tissue. Have you ever made this mistake before? Basically, she asked, in a nutshell, have I ever accepted a sale too quickly, like before I even like really looked at how much it was? Because it happens. Sometimes you might get a lowball offer and mean to decline, but you accepted it too quick. And that happened to me once. I made a video on some of the mistakes that I made in the past, and it was with a pair of shoes. And I had these shoes up for like $30, and I got an offer for 12, and I accepted it way too fast. And it was just like, I was trigger happy. I don't know what happened, but these mistakes happen. You know what I mean? It's with any business, you're going to learn as you go. So it definitely happened to me. The only thing now is when I get an offer, I just take my time. I just like look at it, really check it out. I always look at the seller's, the buyer's profile. I look to see if they're a seller themselves. I just take my time before I accept offers. For the most part, my stuff are priced to sell. So I'm really trying to not even accept offers. So when they do come in, I don't get excited as I used to. I'm really just like, is this a real buyer? Is this a low ball? I'm just used to that at this point. So I kind of take my time. No. How many listings do you currently have on eBay, and what's an average amount you make on a monthly basis? I ain't gonna say the average amount. Come on, you're asking for too much. But in terms of listings I do about on eBay, it fluctuates. Sometimes it's about 150 to about 200. Sometimes if I have like a lot of inventory and the thrifts are on fire, I might have like 250. The most I ever had in my eBay store at one time was like 270 something. But the thing with my eBay store is that my stuff sells really fast, so it's hard for me to maintain a large inventory, which is good because I prefer to sell it as opposed to just having a bunch of inventory. Like I just want to get it out. But yeah. Are you still picking up sweaters and winter items? Hell yeah, I'm still picking them up. The only thing is, as soon as you get it, you gotta list it. Like you can't sit on it for a week or 2 weeks. You gotta try to get it out. And the other thing that I was thinking of too is Australia and other places around the world. They're on a whole different time schedule with us in terms of seasons. So even if you pick up winter items in the summertime, still pick it up and list it, because you might get an international sale, especially if you're doing the global shipping program. So that's a good opportunity too. And the other thing is, some people, if it's an item that they really want, they'll still buy it even if it's out of season, and they'll just wait until the next season to wear it. So still pick it up, still list it, because I'm selling shorts right now, and I'm hardly selling jackets. So that just lets you know. Where do you suggest a new reseller to start with researching brands? I've tried flipping a few pieces that I thought would sell, but haven't made much profit, or they sit for too long. You could start by watching my videos. I put out a whole bunch of what sold videos. I do thrift haul videos, and a ton of other resellers do that. I usually focus on men's clothing. So if you're a men's clothing seller, I think my videos are kind of valuable. You can definitely learn a lot. If you're looking for more women's stuff, there's tons of female resellers on YouTube. So all you need to do is put in like thrift hauls or what sold on YouTube, and people would give away this information all day long. Some videos are a little better than others, but I mean, if you're trying to get the research, if you're trying to get the knowledge, you're just gonna have to comb through the tons of videos. So that's what I did. Or you can get my ebook that I'm about to drop very soon. Will you be trying out ThreadUp? I heard of ThreadUp. There was a few resellers that did like ThreadUp hauls. It didn't look interesting to me. Like their business model looks very tacky to me. Like if anybody from ThreadUp is watching, listen to me. You can't sell stuff that people donated to your business. Like to me, this is weird because they have this thing called rejects, right? So they're not giving that person money. And most of the time that person doesn't care. They're like, all right, whatever, do what you want with it. And that's what they're selling. They're selling their rejects to people. So if it wasn't good enough for them, why would I buy the things that you didn't want? You know what I mean? Like to me, that's tacky. But and plus the margins just aren't there. If you do the math, you're spending like, I think $8 to $10 per item, and it's the stuff that wasn't good enough for them. So chances of you making any money is very, very slim. Every ThreadUp review that I've watched, it's been like, I felt bad for that person because I know they just did the video for the content, but in the back of their mind, they're like, damn, I wasted my money and I'll be lucky if I break even. So I'm not with ThreadUp. I don't see the value in what they do. Next question. What happens if an item doesn't sell after a month? Don't forget to smash that like button, y'all. We got my fiance, she's running the moderator right now. So I'm not even seeing the chat. Say what's up to the people. Let them see your picture real quick as I get to this question.
Am I in it? Yeah, hey people, I'm just over here, responding to you guys, reading the questions, getting Akil all of the questions that he needs to answer. So if I did miss one by any chance, just resend it and we'll get back to it. I'm really trying to keep the chat pretty active, so I feel as if I'm communicating with all you guys pretty good. Again, if we miss anything, let me know. We brunch every Sunday, so we did at-home brunch today. So I've been sipping on these bottomless mimosas. So yeah, if I miss one, sorry. Just resend it.
Yeah, resend it. Put question marks in the front and at the end, so she can see that it's actually a question, and not like a conversation going back and forth. Just so she could decipher that. Next question I got from Jessica. Hi, what happens if an item doesn't sell after a month? do you have the option to just remove it and maybe consider selling it on another platform, or does it stay in your closet once it's still there? I want to start, but I want to make a certain amount of money. Okay, so excuse me, the mimosas is got my chest a little bubbly right now. So with this, when things don't sell within a month, I usually lower the price. If I had it priced for say $70 and I didn't get any vouchers or anything, that just lets me know that I priced it too high and the interest just isn't there. So I'll probably lower it like $10. If it still doesn't sell and it's an item that I know is good, I'm gonna just wait, because sometimes you gotta wait for that like perfect buyer. So but by that initial decrease in price, I'm trying to do what I can to gain some traction. But if it's still not sitting, I'm not giving up on the item right away, because I just believe everything that I pick up will sell at one point or another. Now, there is something called a stale listing. Now, for me, if I had something for more than 6 months and it's out of season and it's just a bad decision on my part, because I still make bad decisions, I'll take it to Buffalo Exchange, Crossroads, Plato's Closet, places like that, and I'll trade some of those things in to get something that's a little better. And that's probably the only time I do bundle deals. I'll bundle up a bunch of stale listings and I'll get like one pair of shoes that I know I'll get at least $100 for. So that's how I try to keep my closet and my inventory fresh. What made you want to start a YouTube channel on reselling? Well, I used to watch a lot of resellers. Like I used to watch like Rally Roots and Craigslist Hunter. I used to watch a lot of these people, and I was learning a lot. And I was seeing that they mastered what they're doing. They're not talking from a position of like documenting their journey. They're discussing their business model from a level of mastery. So for me, I wanted to wait until I felt like I mastered eBay, like until to the point where I was like, okay, you know exactly what you're doing, you know the ins and outs. I'm not learning much new. So for me, I'm like, okay, now I feel like I can add value to the whole like reseller community. I didn't want to just jump in and just make like some whack videos and then hope I get views. I was trying to start out with a bang, put out really strong content. And I think that just shows how my channel has been growing, because I started in August and the channel is growing. I'm getting some good amount of views, a lot of subscribers. And I think that's important. I think a lot of people, they listen to Gary Vee and they want to document their journey. And that's cool, because that's basically what I'm doing as well. But I feel like you need to, especially if you're like recording your stuff and you're doing it on YouTube to share, I feel like it has to be valuable. And I didn't want to share nothing but mistakes or nothing but bad buys. And then I look back in my videos and I'm cringing and I'm like, what did I do? So that's why I started. How long did it take for you to go full time? So when I quit my job, I was selling things on Big Cartel. I had like a small online store, and I was just selling things on there. And I was doing like the social media influencer thing. So I was on Instagram, modeling different clothing and shoes and bags. And that was really like my hustle. But that wasn't generating enough money for me to, make some real money. So I just started selling things on eBay. And once I started selling things on eBay, that's when I feel like I became a real reseller. Like I started making good money to the point where I can put some money aside each month and I can invest back into the business. And that was 2 years ago. So ever since then, I've been going full steam ahead.
Okay, so someone said that you missed they asked you what toothpaste you use and you didn't tell them. So we use the Optic
my
White.
Man wanted that toothpaste, boy.
Colgate. So this is a toothpaste we use. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. It's just simple Optic White Colgate. It's really good. Akil's been using it for a couple years now, so his teeth are really white.
Yo, Colgate, cut that check, because we just gave y'all the best promo. My man wanted that toothpaste. He was
sorry for the interruption.
He was not playing. He said, "I need to know." King Duke's Vintage OG asks, I have questions about setting up a business account with eBay. Do I need to file a DBA? Now, you can get a DBA. That's helpful, but it's definitely not needed especially for tax purposes. You can easily file your business as a sole proprietor and get the same amount of tax write-offs and all those type of stuff. I think there might be a little more tax write-offs if you file under like an S corp or something like that. Everything has its own excuse me, everything has its own like benefits if you file under a different title, if you do S corp or C corp or whatever the case is. But you can easily file as a sole proprietor without a DBA, and you'll be just fine. But people that are interested in getting into eBay and doing it full time, most people don't even like have a LLC or anything like that. They're just filing once they get the 1099 from PayPal, and they're just handling their taxes like that. We got a question in the chat. Do you set goals for yourself, like a certain number of listings, sales, offers, or do you go with the flow? I would say I go with the flow, but with going with the flow, I kind of I'll set like a daily goal. So every day when I wake up, before I like start the day, I'll say, okay, I got to get X, Y, and Z done. I got to get a video up. I have to list at least 20 things. I got to edit some stuff on YouTube. I got to go sourcing. I got to go to the gym. Like all those things are just a part of my day. So for the most part, it's like a very planned out method. But I like by going with the flow, if I only get 15 things done, or if I don't get a video up, I'm not gonna beat myself up. But for the most part, I try to set a standard for myself so I can stay on course, because it's tough to just wake up and say, okay, I'm gonna list, and then you might get tired of listing, and then okay, what am I gonna do now? Like for me, I kind of just set it in stone from the top of the day. Do you have an eBay business account or personal? What's the best account to have? Business account for eBay. I don't know the difference, if it's like a big difference in terms of taxes or whatever, but I just have a business account. I think you're talking about PayPal, because I don't think you could have a business eBay account. But let me know if that's what you're talking about. But for PayPal, I have a business account. On Poshmark, how do you figure out the original retail price? I don't even waste time trying to figure that out. I'll just put all the original price. I always put 0, because that's not important. I always just put 0. And sometimes I might, if the tag is still on it, then I'll say the original price was whatever the tag says. But for the most part, I just put 0, because that's not important. Do you have any other streams besides reselling and YouTube, streams of income? What? Affiliates from Amazon, YouTube, reselling. Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's a lot right there. I'm only one man. Next up, can you please tell me what stores you shop in? This is from Wanda Velez. So I usually get everything from Goodwills. There's no Salvation Armies in my area, so there's Alpha thrift stores, but they are very expensive, so I don't go there often. I usually get everything from Goodwills, and that's Goodwills from all over the county. I don't do a lot of Ross or Burlington or anything like that, because the Ross and the Burlingtons in my area are just very, very bad. Like I see Hustler Hacks, Glenn at Hustler Hacks, he's a reseller as well, and his area must be one of the best, because he gets really good sneakers, really good clothing. But every time I go, all I see is RBX, and like what did I see the other day? It was like not FUBU, but it was like Echo and Rockaway. I was like, I didn't even know they still made that stuff, so I don't even do that. Next question. Yo, nothing is selling on Poshmark, but eBay is doing well. What's the deal? Now, this is the main reason why I started selling on multiple platforms. There's some people that do eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, Depop. They do every platform, and that's fine if they can manage all that. But for me, when I started with just eBay, there would be days where I had 0 sale days, like nothing sold. And I was like, damn, like especially when all your money's only coming from eBay, you can't really afford to have a 0 sale day. So once I started selling on Poshmark and started taking it serious, not to say I don't have 0 sale days anymore, because it does happen like once a month. But for the most part, I always have consistent sales either from eBay or on Poshmark. So eBay and Poshmark is going to fluctuate. Some months eBay is going to be booming and Poshmark is slow, and vice versa. So as long as you're selling on multiple platforms, you can always generate a decent amount of money. On eBay, how do you do 7-day auctions or live until sold? I used to do auctions on items that I wasn't too sure about the price. Like if it was something that was really unique, or if it was something that I wasn't like 100% sure about, I would start the auction at what I'm most comfortable with getting. So if I know I want at least $70, I'm starting the auction at $70. And if I get more, cool, that's a win. But as long as I get my 70, I'm good to go. And yeah, I think that's the best way to do it, because with the auctions, when I first started selling on eBay, everything was an auction. And that's when you would run into a lot of people that wasn't buying. Like they would bid, but they wouldn't pay for it. And I was experiencing that a lot. But once you have buy it now and like offers and stuff like that, you still experience people that don't pay, but it's not as common.
And this is a follow-up from the question about the business.
I'm talking about when you sign up for an eBay account. It asks you if you want a business account, and I was wondering if you have a business account or just a regular account. What would you suggest? I signed up for my eBay account in 2008, so I believe it was a personal account at that time. But I haven't gone into it and changed anything since then. So I'm pretty sure mine is a personal account, because like I said, I had it for so long and I wasn't really active on it. But I do know when I opened it, I wasn't thinking of business at that time. 2008, I was 18. So definitely wasn't thinking that far ahead. Next question from Kevin P. I believe Kevin P dropped a super chat. So shout out to Kevin P and RPAC17. Everybody that's dropped the super chat, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you guys. Kevin P. Hi, Akil. How do you advertise your eBay store to drive traffic to it? Thanks for the informative video. I think he's saying if I put it, because since my eBay store is in my description in all of my videos, I'm thinking that's what he means by advertising it. I just advertise it, but not for the sake of advertising, because I don't care if people go to the store. I just put it on there because I think it opens up some more transparency. There's a lot of people on eBay that, talk a good game. They make it sound really good. Like, I'm killing it. I drive a Ferrari, all this bullshit. But I think it's better if you're going to be coming from a place of trying to add value to people. I'm not saying you got to give everything, but at least share some of it, so that way people can understand how you're doing it. And it's checks and balances too. By me putting out my eBay store and I say I list X amount, or I say I sold this and this, that kind of, keeps me in check as well, because it lets me know I can't slack on my game, because my eBay store is open to anybody. Only thing is that hasn't really affected my sales at all. I don't think my sales have been going up because I've been doing YouTube. I just think my sales have been fairly consistent because my hustle has been consistent. I haven't really slacked to the point where something has fell off. So that's been helpful. Does having an Instagram help sales? I don't really use IG. I don't use it. I don't use it either. There's a lot of people that use IG. What I used to do when I first started off, when I just had the boutique and I wasn't on eBay or Poshmark, I would put whatever I found that was interesting. I would put that in my Instagram story, and I would say, hit me up if you're interested. I could just sell it to you via PayPal. Now, I made a few sales like that, but I didn't make sales to the point where I was able to pay the rent. That was just like, $20, $30 here or there. I kind of left Instagram alone, and I'll eventually get back on it, but I kind of left Instagram alone because I don't really see the purpose for it for me right now. Like, Instagram will have you thinking that you're fat, have you thinking you are broke, have you thinking you ain't got no friends, and I don't need that negativity around me. Like, some people see Instagram as like this amazing thing that everybody needs to have, and I do think you should have it, but I don't spend the time that a lot of people spend on it because it's not valuable to me. It's not necessary. So, I mean, if you're making sales on IG, good for you, but I'm not really using that. Next question. Do you price with shipping included in the going price, or do you add shipping on top of the going price? So when it comes to free, adding the cost of shipping, if I have something that I'm accepting offers for, it's definitely going to be, if I'm accepting offers, I'm charging shipping. If I'm not accepting offers, it's free shipping. And that's because I built the cost of shipping into the price. So that's how I like to do it. I think there's some people that's pushing free shipping and free returns, and I think that's actually really good. But I'm not doing that yet. If I open another eBay store, I probably will do that. But I just prefer charging for shipping, because once you charge for shipping, you'll see a huge increase in your profits every month. How many closed listings on eBay do you have to have before you see sales daily, or does it just depend on the type of clothing? It just depends on the brands. You do need a pretty large inventory to get sales on a daily basis, at least 100, I think. But it really just depends on the brands. If you have 50 pieces of Untucked or 50 pieces of Mizzen and Main, you might experience sales every day, every hour. But if you have 100 listings of brands that nobody's checking for, you'll be lucky if you get a few sales a month. So it really just depends on the brand. And I think that's the most important thing. Like, quality over quantity is a huge thing, especially for eBay and Poshmark. Where are we with time right now?
35 minutes.
35 minutes. I think I'm gonna do a 45-minute show. If the chat is really booming and we get a lot of questions, I'll go to an hour, but I'm leaning more towards a 45-minute show. So if you guys got questions, ask those questions in the live stream and I'll get to them. But I think I'm gonna do a 45-minute show. Just a heads up. Next question. I often find Jordans, especially in the thrift, without insoles. Is it just me, or why is that? I usually find a ton of shoes without insoles in them for some reason. And the insole thing is not a big deal. You can still sell it with or without insoles, or you can just replace the insoles. So, excuse me, these are the mimosas got me burping. But you could easily just replace the insoles or not. I always say if it doesn't have insoles, I'll just say insoles are not included, and that usually doesn't affect the sale or the overall price that bad. Just make sure you're being honest, and when the person gets it, they know they wasn't expecting insoles. The worst thing is to not say it doesn't have insoles, and that person gets the shoe, and that's when a return comes. That's when negative feedback comes, and that's what you don't want. Next question. Tell me what older brands that you do or don't buy, i.e. Ralph Lauren or Tommy Hilfiger. There's a lot of older brands that I don't really touch. And that will definitely be in my ebook as well. But in terms of Tommy Hilfiger and Ralph Lauren, I pick up Ralph Lauren if it's a brand new with tags, or if it's in a really big size, or if it's like a P-wing sweater or something like a vintage Ralph Lauren piece that's highly sought after. Those of you that are into vintage pieces, you know what type of pieces I'm talking about. Those of you that's not really into that, like the P-wing sweaters and the P-wing jackets and those type of stuff, it's literally a P, and it has like a shoe, like a running shoe, and it's a wing right next to the P. So I look for those type of stuff. But other than that, I'm not like actively picking up Ralph Lauren because it just has too many of it on the market. It's oversaturated and doesn't sell. In terms of Tommy Hilfiger, I used to sell a lot of Tommy Hilfiger jeans with the big flag or that carpenter loop. If I see that, I'll pick it up. But like Tommy Hilfiger, just old Tommy Hilfiger, I'm not really touching that because that doesn't sell either. You plan to source from overseas?
From China, like in bulk.
No, I don't plan on doing that. I think that's better for like an Amazon thing, or if you're trying to do like a Shopify store. I see a lot of people do that. And the thing for me why I wouldn't do it is because the quality just isn't there. And a lot of people would say, oh, I did, like, I know y'all on this channel right now. So chances are, before you clicked on this, you got an ad that was from somebody that was in their crib, and it was like, oh, I made $1 million on Shopify selling coffee mugs from China. That's bullshit. They don't talk about the returns they get. They don't talk about the cost, their cost of goods. They don't talk about, just was that $2? Hey, my man, thank you. Your name is Anybody. Thank you, Anybody, for $2. But yeah, they don't talk about that type of stuff. And that's the stuff that bothers me. That's the stuff that got me onto YouTube in the first place, because it's too much people that they're bullshitting the game. They're giving a lot of bad information. They're painting a terrible picture of the resale game. And you got another way. Hey, $20 from Larry Marshall. Thank you very much. But $20, that's what's up. We out here, baby. But yeah, I don't really do the foreign stuff. It's just bad quality. If it was good quality items I could get for a good price, I would absolutely do it. But no. Can you recommend a good resource to learn the basics about sneakers and what brands and styles to look for in sneakers? See, this is why I'm doing this ebook. Because y'all, the questions y'all asking is the questions I'm gonna all add in this ebook. It'll be done by the end of March, I promise you. But as of right now, in terms of people that I could refer you to, Hustler Hacks, he does a lot of shoe stuff from like Ross and Burlington and Marshalls. Know It to Flip It, he's on YouTube as well. He knows a lot about sneakers. Yeah, those two, as long as you go to those two channels, you can learn a lot about shoes. If you watch some of my What Sold videos, I talk about shoes because I used to collect shoes, so I know a ton about sneakers. So if you watch some of my What Sold videos, I usually drop little gems if I sold a sneaker that's notable, if it has some type of information about it. But for the most part, you can check out those two YouTubers. Their channels are dope. They got a lot of info. I learned a lot from them, so I trust those two. So those are all the pre-prepared questions that I got. We have 40 minutes, almost 41 minutes. Is there any questions in the chat that we can go into? If not, I'll just end it at 45. But send any questions you guys have. I think this was a dope show. I gave away a lot of gems today. What you think, Belle?
I think you did a great job. Oh, we did miss this question. Sorry.
Do you ever pick up Western clothes to resell? Yes, absolutely. There are certain brands like, I don't know if Pendleton necessarily is a Western brand, but I know they make Western style shirts. A lot of I just sold a Wrangler shirt last month. I sell some cowboy boots. I'm in California, so a lot of people wear that stuff. That market is hot. That's very trendy right now, especially if you want to sell that on Poshmark. I think Western stuff kind of goes under that like boho trend, and boho is huge on Poshmark. So I do sell some boots, especially cowboy boots and stuff like that. How to clean shoes video is awesome.
Those are the ones that I took.
Yo, so thank you, by the way. I cleaned the shit out of these shoes. Like, these shoes look brand new. Dom was like, ooh, those are nice. And then she got the shoes.
They are so comfortable too. Yeah. What kind of shoes are they?
Those is Adidas. Those are some Boosts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. The other one that I did, the pair of Jordans, I think those was the pair of 14s. Those were suede. And I did two different videos because one was how to clean like suede and leather, and the other one was how to clean knitted shoes. A lot of times I clean shoes because I enjoy it. It doesn't like bother me that badly. Some people, they hate cleaning shoes, and I mean, to each his own. But for me, there's a lot of money in shoes. That's why I take my time to clean it. But like I said, you could watch either one of those shoes and learn how to do the same thing. Question: do you pay for eBay fees through PayPal or checking account? I pay with that for my credit card. That way I can get some of those rewards, because I pay a shit ton of fees. Last month I paid like what, $6 something in fees, $640 in fees, and the month before that was somewhere around the same. So by having a credit card that gives you rewards, you can get like 1% back, 1.5% back, sometimes 2%. So 2% of something you was already going to pay for anyway, that definitely helps add up. I actually just paid my eBay fees as well. So yeah, use your credit card, take advantage of those rewards, get this money. You may have already answered this, but what do you think about the whole curated closet idea, i.e. only buying certain brands/styles to maintain a theme? I actually was talking about this a little bit in a previous video, but I do think that's a dope concept. I think if you have multiple closets or multiple platforms, that could work. I was trying to do that at first. I was trying to only sell menswear items like blazers, ties, cufflinks, accessories. I was only trying to do that. That didn't necessarily work that great for me because, I would see other items that would sell for good money, but I would feel like I had to pass on it. Like I would pick up a blazer and then see a graphing calculator that I know would get $60, but I'm just like, I have nowhere to sell this, so I didn't do it. But if you have several different platforms, several different closets, you could definitely make that work. I think that's a dope way too, especially with Poshmark. You can like curate an entire closet and it could just be one particular style. And if you do it that way, people would keep coming back. Like you can gain a real loyal customer base if you have one particular style in your closet. So I think that's dope. But for me at least, I think I'm better off doing the multiple platforms, selling a little bit of everything. That way I'm not limiting myself. But I probably will open another eBay store with only men's clothing and do just to see like a test study or something like that. And I think that is it. No more questions really. And we are exactly at 45 minutes. So thank you guys for tuning into the show. Don't forget to hit that like button. We got 71 people in here, 27 likes. Smash the like button before you go. That lets YouTube know that what I was doing was actually worth people watching. So definitely drop that in the definitely smash that like button. If you got any comments, any questions, drop it in the comment section of the video, and that not the live stream, but drop it in the comments, and that way I can answer that later on as well. And if you are interested in some coaching or some mentoring to help you with your eBay journey, send me an email at DapperAdvisor@gmail.com, and I'll definitely get back to you as soon as possible, and you can work something out that way. And like I said, this is a good show, 45 minutes. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
I want to tell them something.
Oh, go ahead, Danny.
I came up with this saying, guys. Akil used to, I don't know if you like it or not, but I always tell Akil, where there's a goodwill, there's a way. So as long as you guys have a goodwill, you have a way to make money. So keep making that money and get to the cash.
That was cute.
Thanks.
That was cute. If y'all like that, smash the like button. If y'all like that, let me know in the comments below. And we could probably do some merch with that. Where there's a goodwill, there's a way.
That's it.
That'd be dope. So let me know if y'all feeling that. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Peace.